everybody, and welcome to the Le Mans 24 Hour in 2021. We will be covering 12 hours live and 12 hours in highlights of the main race. We will bring you live coverage of the qualifying sessions as well, and highlights of all of the practice sessions. Free Practice 1 was sadly not shown live on television. The only way you could watch it was on the radio network as well. But we've been up here in the comms box, keeping our ear to the ground as well, and watching all of the timing screens. So here's what happened in the first practice session. Let's take a look then around this Circuit de la Sarthe, and on board in the 2016 Audi LMP1 car, the RS016. Coming out of the last corner, four-wheel drive, provides some lack of drive out of the last corner, but start the clock up now towards the Dunlop curve at turn 1, fifth gear corner. Immediately hard on the brakes coming into the Dunlop chicane, down to second gear, ride the curves hard. Little bit of power, you'll allow a little bit of oversteer as you come down now towards the S's. Fourth gear, fifth gear, drop down to third. Get the car on the banking part of the track, come up now towards Terra Rogia at eighth gear, drop down fourth gear now. And nice and wide at the exit as you head down the Mulsanne Straight for the first time. Don't forget, it's not the original Mulsanne Straight, because now they have got the two chicanes, the Forza chicane followed by the Michelin chicane. You're in sixth gear, over 200 miles an hour down the Mulsanne. You've got a brake down to third gear for the first of the chicane. Hard on the brakes, drop down third gear into the Forza chicane. Just flick the car in, left, right, up, right, down, go again. Fourth gear, fifth gear, and then just wait for the car to rise up to sixth gear. Already a minute and 15 seconds have passed as you're already hurtling down the back straight. Coming now. This one is very tricky as you come down now, brake hard, second gear, now into the Michelin chicane, heading down to the Mulsanne corner. Rise again, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear coming up. You can feel the car almost bumping down the straight as you go offline just a little bit. The car immediately wants to flick you into the wall. You're doing so much to control it as you have to flick the car at the same time of heavy braking down into the Mulsanne corner into second gear. Round now down into the other half of the track that I like, down 18 and 19's part of the track. You're coming full throttle into turn 20 and 21 as you approach Indianapolis. Watch, it's already in sixth gear. Now you're just going to keep the car pinned straight and hope that you don't fly off into a wall. You've seen that happen a number of times. Flick the car, brake hard, coming into Indianapolis. It's a banked corner, hence the name, second gear. By the time you're already in fourth gear, you've got to hold it there because you hit the brakes down the first gear, hard into Arnage. The car doing what it did in the last chicane, just pushing the four-wheel drive out. You can't turn and accelerate at the same time. The car will just go straight with it being four-wheel drive. Coming up now towards the Porsche curves. Turns 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and 29, believe it or not. Down fourth gear, just touch the curve as much as possible. Now through the fast Porsche S. They've moved the barrier back since this game was developed, but already fifth gear, you can ride much more speed. You've got to drop to fourth at the second part of the Porsche curve. Coming down now into fifth gear, sixth gear, you just hold fifth gear, don't pull sixth, as you've got to brake hard now into second gear, coming into the Ford chicanes. Ride the curve. This is the trickiest part of the track, surprisingly, the last chicane, and across the line. Third gear, fourth gear, and across in a 3:29.042. What a lap! It's very tricky, Circuit de la Sarthe. So the first practice session for the Le Mans 24 Hours comes to a close. Let's take a look then at the full action of the leaderboards, as there's a yellow flag has come out of the track just at the end as well. Free Practice 1 was not actually displayed live out to the public. The only people who had it was Radio Le Mans 1 and RS1's audio, the Radio Le Mans. So we've been watching the live timing screens, keeping up to date with what we can, and it has been a fairly interesting session as well. 2 red flags throughout the session. We were out of the total 3-hour session that we had for practice 1, we were under the red flag for 32 minutes as well. We only had 2 hours and 18 minutes of green flag running in that time. In terms of the hyperclass as well, the hypercar as well, the hydrogen powered, it is the Toyota Gazoo Racing number 7 leading the way at the moment as well. In LMP2 as well, it is the Philippe Albuquerque in the United Autosports USA 22 car leading the way. In LMGTE Pro category, it is the AF Corsa Ferrari 52 running it as well. And then in the LMGTE AM, it is the Team Project 1 car, the 56, out there too. And it's the 30 car as well, out there in the special car out there as well. The Association SRT 41 with the Oriana 07 Gibson car at the moment, that is in 39th position as well, and has the time on the board with very good ones. But the top 5 cars alongside you here on the monitor gives you a complete wrap-up of what we've seen in the first practice session. But it was an interesting session. The first red flag as well brought out within the first minute as well, with a few things not quite ready for the track, so caught a lot of the drivers by surprise, with some of them down the Mulsanne straight in full throttle, having to back out of it immediately. The second red flag, that was brought out because 2 cars went into the gravel trap. Gravel came all on to the track as well down at Tête Rouge, and that brought out the reds. Drivers though are okay, which of course is the best news possible that we can hear. A dramatic first session then. Here's the clock has now ticked out. The green flag's still out for everyone to come in as well. But 2 yellows as well, 2 full course yellows in that session, 2 red flags, but 7 counts to the green as well, which was the best one. So it is Toyota from the Alpines out there as well. Toyota's was a 3:29.309. We expect that to come down dramatically in the hypercar category as well before we get into the first qualifying. That's later on. That is live here on YouTube. All the practice sessions will be coming to you with highlights from now on as well. We'll have more highlights throughout the day, not this little report we've had to have of FP1 because, of course, no one has actually run anything. But the 4th place and 5th place as well, United Autosports and the G-Drive Racing up there as well. 4th and 5th in the LMP2 category, beating as well the Romain Dumas and Oliver Pla out there as well in the 2 709 and 708 Glihoris racing cars as well. So that's a very impressive run there from LMP2. And it all wrapping up, it was a nice combined session. It was not a short session, but a session that was very much needed in terms of to refresh the drivers. Of course, they had the Monday run where they could run for the whole day and just get round, do as many laps as you can, see that everything's okay. And then your lockdown Tuesday, and then Wednesday you've got the first practice and qualifying. Tomorrow you've got the two practice sessions and the qualifying. No action on Friday. Saturday you're going to warm up, and then bang, you're into the 24 hours full throttle from the end of it as well. And as you know, we will be covering 12 hours of this race live and 12 hours in highlight form, similar to what we do with the IndyCar race as well. So a lot of action to keep your eyes on this weekend, as taking the focus is the WEC Le Mans 24 hour. It is the 89th running of this event as well, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So after 3 hours of practice, it's Toyota leading the way in hypercar. In LMP2, it's the United Autosports USA. In LMGTE Pro, it's the Ferrari AF Corsa. And in LMGT AM, it's the Team Project 1, the Porsche 911 RSR 19 as well. A good session, though, to kick off the day. We'll be live later on this afternoon for all of the action from qualifying. For now, though, thanks for your company, and we'll see you later.